Every dancer remembers the moves from Britney Spears' Slave For You music video. Brian Friedman is the one who created her signature breakdown, along with countless iconic moves for industry superstars like Beyonce, Janet Jackson, and Mariah Carey. Nominated for 5 American Choreography Awards, 4 MTV Video Music Awards, and 2 Music Video Production Awards, he's internationally known for his on-screen and behind-the-scenes work on So You Think You Can Dance, Dancing with the Stars, America's Got Talent, and X Factor. I am your host, Galen Hooks. Brian, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
You're still so young, and you've accomplished so much already at such a young age. When did it all start? You must have gotten an early start.
Looking back on it now, it was incredibly early. I started when I was 11 years old. I went to a dance studio that my mother, she had taken classes at, and she was a dancer herself and a dance teacher. And she judged a dance competition, and I went and watched it, and these kids were dancing, and they were exactly what I wanted to be. So I made her take me there, she put me in the class, and they had all been dancing since they were 4 and 5 years old. So I felt like the late bloomer. But I fell right into it. I started competing with them and doing dance competitions. I was a very driven child. I was the type that was, you know, calling the shots and dictating my career from a very early age. I told my mom, we're gonna go to LA and I'm going to work, you know, I wanna be in movies, I wanna do this, I wanna do that. And she took me to the audition, and at that age I learned, you know, you have to fight for what you want.
I'm trying to picture you in auditions, and I can picture you just being like, I mean, there would be no other choice but to pick you. Like, you stand out so much. Did you ever not feel good at auditions, or nervous, or did you ever mess up?
I had no inhibition when I was a kid. It was the only thing I loved to do. I hated school. I was held back in 4th grade because I hated school so much I didn't do my homework, I didn't pay attention in class. All I wanted to do was stay up all night and watch TV and fall asleep at school. So that was my struggle. My struggle was having to deal with the fact that my whole class of friends went on and I had to stay back. And that's actually why I started dancing.
While Brian may have been held back in school, his newfound love of dancing carried him further ahead than he ever could have imagined, all the way to Los Angeles, where he made some surprising new friends on the set of the hit TV show, Kids Incorporated.
I met a lot of my childhood friends on that show, one of which was Brittany Murphy and Eric Balfour, another actor, and an actress, Haley Johnson. And the 4 of us formed a group, and it was called Blessed with Soul. And we were all very, very white and very not soulful. And we did the mall tours, and I sang, I rapped a little in the group. It's just really bad. But that was the end of my singing career.
You were in the singing group, you left it, you were dancing, and then when did choreography start to come into the picture?
I think the first time I ever choreographed, I was 14, and the whole time I was doing my childhood teen dancing in LA, I was also still dancing at my dance studio, which was back in Arizona, the one that I started dancing at, because I loved competition, doing the whole dance competition thing. So I would be out in LA, I'd work on a job, I'd fly home, I would do my dance competition. We did Star Search together with my old girls that I danced with, and I would choreograph at the studio. That was my first time trying to do choreography, and I loved it. And then around 16 is when I opened my own dance studio with my mother in Arizona, and that was so that I could be more in control of what I was choreographing and get credit for it. And then I was on a job out here in LA for Wade Robson. He was doing 2 projects at once, and he couldn't be there, and he asked me if I would take over for him. That meant cleaning, it meant teaching choreography that was already done, and it also meant coming up with some of my own choreography. And I was nervous, completely nervous, because I didn't know if it was something that I was actually talented at, especially doing it for artists and for dancers that are professional, not dance studio dancers. So I did it, and Julie McDonald from MSA, she came up to me at a rehearsal and she said, you know, your work is really good. Have you thought about doing this for a career? And I said, not really. And she said, well, you know, come in and talk to me about it. So I was like, okay, this could work. And Wade, right after that, had another job that he handed to me, and it was to work with a 15-year-old artist, Christina Milian. So I flew to Florida, brought my dancers. It was the first time I was ever put in a position where I was actually doing creative direction and coming up with what the whole show was gonna look like, and that was the moment where I was sure. I knew that it was exactly what I wanted to do. And I think I was maybe 21 at the time, 21 or 22, but I fell in love with it. and there was no turning back.
Having found his true calling, Brian quickly became known as one of the hottest choreographers in the industry. Collaborating with icons like Britney Spears and Janet Jackson, he soon found himself a rising star on shows like America's Got Talent, Dancing with the Stars, and X Factor. All of that success, however, came with a steep price.
I danced myself to the surgery table. I mean, that's what we all do.
And that was a while ago, right?
It's been a year and a half now. I couldn't stand up and I was getting pale and I hadn't eaten. I knew that something was really wrong, so I had to go to the emergency room. I tore my labrum, I had to have a bone shaved down, my subacromium. It was just wear and tear from dancing, and it hurts, and it definitely affects your body in the long haul.
So so today, like when you're choreographing, what do you love about it? Why are you so happy you made that decision to do this?
I'm 34 now. I've been in this for years, and the fact that I'm still doing what I love to do, it's just unbelievable to me, to know that you can make a lifelong career out of, dancing in your bedroom. So I'm happy I did it. I'm happy I made that jump, because I don't think that I would still be able to be a professional dancer right now.
Let's talk a little bit about your creative process. I mean, you are one of the most skilled at your craft that anybody has seen in the industry. You can choreograph with your eyes closed. You can see somebody's pinky that's off in the back of the stage. The dancers are always commenting like, how did he see that? Like, I'm in the back row and he saw that my head was here instead of here.
It's a blessing and a curse. It truly is, because I never look at what's good. My eye never goes to the good. My eye always goes to the bad. I only catch mistakes, and it's not like that with just my work. When I go and see films, when I go and see stage shows, I can't stop analyzing.
You're OCD.
It's terrible. It is really terrible. So I don't know if I love it or hate it, but it is what it is, and I accept it and I move on with it. And I think that it does give my work a certain finished quality. Everything that I do has to look tailored and perfect.
And it makes it a lot easier on the dancers, because the dancers feel like they're in good hands. They're safe with you. You know what you're talking about. You'll tell them every single thing they have to do. They're never just left there. So
right.
it's definitely a blessing for the dancers to have someone like you.
If they're good.
So, talking about kind of this new generation, new dancers you're working with, I know nowadays a lot of people are talking about how class is just different. I mean, what was it like back then, and what is it like now?
It is a different experience. I think it's up to the people who are actually in the dance studios to continue educating and training dancers. And sadly, I don't think all of the teachers around now actually do that. When I was young and taking class, and same thing with you, it was completely different. There was a level of, I would say, professionalism. And it was all about, you would come in, your mouth was closed, you were there to learn. There were certain rules that applied to class. You didn't talk, you wore the right thing. You grew as a dancer from that process. And now it's about showing up and learning a combo, rarely warming up, and being there to look good. And don't get me wrong, like, we wanted to look good too, but we also did the right things before you look good.
Do you still get the same satisfaction out of just being a choreographer?
It's the teaching for me. That's what I love to do. It's my workshop, The Pulse, which Wade and I are creative directors of. That's where I feel like my inner dancer stays alive.
Founded in 2007, The Pulse is Brian's way of passing along his knowledge, experience, and technique to the professional dancers of tomorrow. Together with Wade Robson and some of the industry's most cutting-edge choreographers, it's his way of giving back to a community that gave him so much opportunity and success from such a young age.
I get to go out and teach and reach out to, probably 30,000 kids a year. They're the next generation of us. So it's really great to know that, that heartbeat is still staying alive.
My final question I want to ask you, because you still consider yourself a dancer, and I love that you've done all these huge, amazing things, but you are a dancer at heart. What does dance mean to you?
Dancing was my only language that I ever spoke. In school, I was terrible. I couldn't do anything right. I couldn't do anything right anywhere. Dance was the only thing that I ever got right, and it's still been what has made me get everything else right. My dance training made me a better choreographer. My dance training made me a better director. It made me a better producer. It has made me a better mentor for people. So it's always the heartbeat. It'll always be what is my driving force, and I'll do it as long as I can. Even if I can't dance, I still will consider myself a dancer. Even if I'm just doing a step touch, it's still gonna be what drives me.
It's gonna be the best step touch ever.
It will be award-winning.
Thank you for being here, Brian. Thank you guys for watching. The great thing about this show is we can interact. Make sure you post comments. You can post things on Facebook and Twitter. We'll make sure to get back to you and answer any questions you might have. You can stay up to date with Brian and the rest of our top choreographers and all of us here at D Studio. Thanks for watching. See you next time.